Hey guys, Clockster42, Scale Model Alberta. Well, welcome to 2021. Let's hope things get better than they did last year, eh boys? Because wasn't 2020 just a kick in the old pants? Alright, let's take a look at the Academy Panzerkampfwagen Mark V Panther Mark G. Final production of this puppy. Actually, this one that you're looking at is the final one of final 25 tanks built by man between March and April 1945. Now, the thing that differentiates these final 25 was this rear steel road wheel. And from all of my research, nobody really knows why they fit them on. They were out, they had extra, they wanted to use them up. Nobody really knows. But that's what differentiates the final 25 from man. Let's start off by taking a look at the instruction sheet. Great big full size 8.5 by 11 instruction sheet. Black and white, crisp, clear, nicely laid out. Absolutely excellent. Just what an instruction sheet should look like. Well done, Academy. So as you can see, that the lower hull is multi-piece, but it all lines up really well. The torsion bar, straightforward construction, well marked, well detailed, fit in nice and snug. There is no play, there's no wobble, there's no slop whatsoever. Torsion bars go right in. Everything is just tickety-boo golden. They put the, unlike a couple of kits that I just built, they've got this suspension going in properly. Your rear road wheels, your doubles, and then your outside ones on front. I painted all mine first in primer and black. First I undercoated them in black, painted them in primer, and away we went. So let's take a look at the suspension and running gear. Well, let's take a look at the tracks over here. So the tracks are some link to link. So we've got 8 singles here on each side, and then the rest, a couple of singles here, and then the rest are all multi-piece. They go together just perfectly, and they line up beautifully. You do not need to worry about leaving this D4. I left this D4 loose. I did not glue it in. So if there is some problems with the suspension, you can move it and tighten it up. Everything lined up just perfectly. You follow the instructions. I had absolutely zero issues whatsoever with the track. So let's actually take a look at how they turned out. So you can see from this shot that the tracks turned out very nice. They're nice, they're clean. There are some sinkholes that you need to fill. Right there you can see, but they're hardly visible on the completed tank, so I didn't worry about filling all those in. A little bit of mud, a little bit of grime, you're not going to see it whatsoever. But on these ones on here, I definitely filled those little track marks with a little bit of Perfect Putty just to get them cleaned up. As you can see, the sag turned out really nice. And I only have one criticism of this kit, of these tracks. They don't have hollow guide horns. Right here, these should be hollow, but they are solid. I can understand why they didn't do that. It's just a little bit more work for the manufacturers to put the hollow guide horns on. If you want model cast and puts on hollow guide horns, but honestly, I'm at a point where I'm not going to pay the cost of this kit for some aftermarket tracks. You know, you can do that if you build 1 or 2 kits a year. Yeah, okay, awesome. But I'm kind of a high volume builder, and I'm not going to spend any more money on the kit unless it's something really special. So anyway, the factory tracks, the box tracks, I think they're really well. I really like the way they turned out. I think they look great. Just a little aside, guys, on Panthers, if they're running, make sure you put silver on those inner road wheels because the guide horns rub like crazy. And if you take a look at any of the photographs, you can definitely see that those are shiny. Okay, back to the instruction sheets. After we got the tracks on, they'll have you put on the rear plate, detail it all up. I step away from the instructions as I usually do at this point. I scooted over to the upper hull, took a look to see if there was any periscopes or holes that I had to drill in this, which there wasn't any. So at that point I I put on the upper hull right here to the lower hull with the tracks, had it all painted up and ready to go with that. I did not, I generally don't like to have all the detail and all the fiddly business on and then put the upper and lower hull in. I usually put the upper and lower hull together, then start doing the detail work. So as you can see, it's really nice detail. There's not a whole bunch of options, which is fine. It's got a nicely detailed jack. The mufflers are really nice. It's the final anti-flame mufflers, which are really nice. The only thing that I didn't really like so much is the way that Academy had you do the track holders. It's not right. It's wrong. But you know what? You know what? It's a model, and I'm not looking at 100%, 1,000,000% accuracy. I build for pleasure. I build for the fun of building, not for the fun of counting all the rivets. So this is not a real correct method of hanging these tracks on. They should be little half square brackets with holes and pins drilled in them, but you know what? It is what it is. It's a 35th scale model, and I'm quite happy with it. All the Pioneer tools are nicely detailed, go together really well. The gun cleaning tube is a single piece, so you don't have to worry about any seams or anything. You just throw the caps on and away you go. The turret, they take you up to this point. Same thing on this. We built the turret. It gets you to this point, and then all of a sudden, boom, the instructions stop. So let's go look at the rest of the instruction sheet. So now they kick you over to Manual 2, which is in color. As you can see, it's got a single piece barrel with a multi-piece muzzle brake. Very little seam fit, just a little bit of seam on the end of that muzzle. Brake, not too bad. Very small seam on the barrel that needs cleaning up. Fits together good. All these little fiddly pieces go on really well. All in all, the turret's really nice. A little bit of photo-etch here, a little bit of photo-etch there. And of course, there's photo-etch on all the grills. The photo-etch was nice and thin, detailed, exceptionally easy to put on. Very, very nice kit. You can see here the photo-etch grills. They went on good. They're nice. They're thin. They're super detailed. They're easy to put on. They're easy to cut. Highly recommended. This is a great little kit. I really like the photo-etch. It's just the right amount of photo-etch. Not too much, but not none like you'd get on, say, a Tamiya kit. So let's just take a quick overview here before we get to the painting options and the decals. As you can see, I did add a little bit of rolled armor texture to the front and the sides and the turret. There is absolutely no texture on this whatsoever. It's perfectly smooth and slick. So you should bounce a Dremel ball on it for a little bit and then throw a little bit of, I used thin Tamiya putty on this, thinned with a little bit of lacquer thinner and a Mr. Marksoft 1000. See, I've still got a piece of tape on there holding in these, holding down those driver's hatch, because I'm going to probably have a driver in there. It came with a little conduit for the light, which is nice. They sent for the tow hooks, which is very important in German vehicles, because let's face it, they broke down a lot. They needed them. I swapped out the thread for picture hanging wire. It's kind of fiddly. It's kind of a pain in the butthole to put on, but it really looks nicely detailed. As you can see, the back is nice. There's really, this kit reminded me of a Tamiya kit from the mid 2000s with photo-etch and link-to-link tracks. And yeah, we'll talk about price here in a bit, but overall, nice build. Now it gives you a lot of marking options. The first one is the man that was the final production man in March, April 45. This one was found in near Munich, and you can see it's got the rear metal, all metal road wheel in the back. The next one is another one from Landshut, Germany, April 45. It also has the final metal road wheel in the back. And then this is what I really like, was somewhere in Germany in April 45. I like this paint scheme. It also has the rear metal road wheel. Now, if you decide you don't want to do a rear metal road wheel, here's another one. This is from the Daimler-Benz with the rubber on the back. But to make it a Daimler-Benz, you need to add two road wheels, outer road wheels on each corner of the turret, because that's what differentiated a lot of the late Daimler Benzes from the Mans. They put the turret on the road wheels on the back of the turret. So if you're going to do this option, make sure you mount some road wheels on the back. And we have two more painting options. This one also is a MAN. This one was in Poland in February of '45. We see this one a lot. This seems to be a fairly popular camouflage. There's quite a few photos of this one taken. And here another one from Hungary in March of '45, also built by MAN with the final metal road wheel. Although I'm not sure if that's correct, if those final metal road wheels got into the Hungarian campaign. So that one I'm a little unsure of. Okay, for the color callouts, they give you quite a selection of different companies. They give you color callouts for Humbrol, Gunze, Life Color, Testors Model Master, both enamel and acrylic, Revel, Vallejo, Model Color and Model Air, AK Interactive. I'll probably be using the AK Real Color lacquer, which I've just grown to love, as well as the Tamiya lacquer paints were just beautiful. I was maybe a little bit difficult on the Tamiya lacquers when I reviewed them a year and a half ago. I've kind of come around on that. So there we have it, boys. Now we have a very small decal sheet with just a few options, because let's face it, late war Germans didn't get a lot of markings on their stuff. There's 4 crosses, 3 different numbering systems on it, and that's about it. And a few decals for the fire extinguisher, which I really appreciate. I wish more companies would give the decals for the fire extinguishers. Alright, there we have it, guys. The Academy Panther G Late. Would I build this kit again? In a drop of a hat. I loved it. The only thing I can give, the only 2 pieces of criticism, well, maybe 3. It doesn't have any rolled armor texture, which, not a big deal. You can do that in, a couple of minutes with the Dremel ball. Hollow track horns. Again, for me, not a big deal. Maybe for some other guys, that's a deal breaker, and they're going to have to put in some different tracks. And the fact that the track holders are pretty inaccurate from the back of the hull. But honestly, I loved it. No, they did give you skirts, although I can't find any picture references with late model Gs with the steel road wheels with skirts. So maybe they were drawn up with them, they were planned to put them on, but I really haven't ever seen any Panther Gs with skirts, especially this late model, the last 25 constructions. Yeah, no issues whatsoever. All the paint schemes are great. What really sold me on this kit was the price. I paid $50 Canadian for it. We're paying for a comparable Meng, we're pushing 90 to 100. Some of the newer Ryefields and that have interior, you're over $120. I think we're even looking at $80 for the Panther, for the Tamiya Panther G Late, which isn't nearly as good of a kit as this one. It's got photo etch, it's got link-to-link tracks, it's got pretty much everything you need for $50 Canadian. That works out to 39 US, 28 pounds sterling, or 32 euros if you swing that way. Yeah, highly recommended. Great kit. I'd build it again. And anyway, so here we are, 2021, boys. I hope things get better. Well, I guess they could get worse. I guess we could get COVID vaccine zombies. I'm kind of waiting for that. Yeah, wouldn't that be a shit? COVID vaccine zombies. Boy. I guess it'll probably happen in the UK first, because I think you guys got the vaccines right off the bat. Yeah, unarmed with COVID vaccine zombies running around. Shaun of the Dead. Anyway, boys, if you like what you seen, like what you hear, give me a thumbs up, throw a comment down, maybe even subscribe if you're so inclined. Turn on that notification button, and we're going to try and get a video a week going here for the rest of the while. Take care, guys.